In this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Infinity Ward never ever being allowed to develop another Call of Duty title ever again. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So before I go on to giving you guys the reason and the solution for Infinity Ward's problem, first of all, I want to gauge what the community thinks and what you guys, the viewers, think. So, if you want Infinity Ward to continue on making Call of Duty titles, leave a dislike on the video. If you guys want Infinity Ward to stop making Call of Duty titles, leave a like on the video. I'm going to come back to this video in about a week or so, and I want to see how many people want to see Infinity Ward carry on with the way that they're going, and how many people want to see Infinity Ward stop making Call of Duty titles altogether. So I don't want to make this entire video slamming Infinity Ward, because let's be honest, it's not going to just be Infinity Ward's fault. We have to think that Activision also plays an enormous role in the way the Call of Duty titles are made. If we look back to Black Ops 4 and the heavily microtransactioned system that they had in place, fucking hell, that was all because of Activision. Treyarch had no say, and when they did say, they got pushed aside. They got a stonking big fat Activision boot shoved up their ass. They weren't having any control over their game. And obviously, this is people's livelihoods as well. I don't want to just slam them, because this is what they learn for. This is what they go to college, to uni, everything. They learn to make a good game, and then obviously Activision going and ruin it. But also, if you remember back to when we got our first ever Call of Duty Black Ops 4 teasers, and the teaser looked like Overwatch. Apparently, that was the actual game that was meant to be Black Ops 4. Treyarch brought this product to Activision to basically give them the tick off to continue, and Activision was like, no. Now, I can understand why, because it's not actually Call of Duty. It's too much like Overwatch. There would have probably a community uprising, but once we actually played the game and got used to it, there would probably be a lot of enjoyment. So what is the good that Infinity Ward have done? The great stuff that they have done in the past. You've got Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, the campaigns across all the Modern Warfares are incredible, and that's about where the good ends for that. Since Call of Duty Ghosts, we have not had a good Call of Duty. Call of Duty Ghosts, obviously, the maps were fucking enormous, and I couldn't go and see anyone. Like, I wanted to go, bring my honey badger, say hello to some random kid's face, shoot the shit out of them, go on, get a chem strike, game over, go home, have my dinner, repeat. All of that, but we couldn't because the maps were too big. Then we get Infinite Warfare. Now, Infinite Warfare is a tricky one, because I truly believe this could have been a good game. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinions. A lot of people will say they hated it and really avidly disliked it, and all they want to do is just kill Infinite Warfare. But honestly, look at it like this. If we didn't have Advanced Warfare, didn't have Black Ops 3, and that was the first game we got of a jetpack sort of type game, everyone would have fucking loved the shit out of it. Now, obviously, Infinite Warfare had its problems, as did any other COD, but when we had Advanced Warfare and we already had Black Ops 3, all of these two jetpacked games, when Infinite Warfare dropped, everyone was just sick of them. And the problem was, Infinity Ward were in a really tough predicament. So let's just say that when Advanced Warfare dropped, that was when Infinity Ward started developing their new Call of Duty, which would have been Infinite Warfare. The community feedback when Advanced Warfare first dropped was incredible. Everyone loved it, and basically from all of the start till the end of Advanced Warfare, everyone liked sort of the jetpack futuristic thing. Obviously, it wasn't for everyone. There was some people that didn't like it and just wanted like old school boots on the ground. But for the most part, the community was enjoying and embracing the new jetpack age. Then it got to Black Ops 3. Now, this was sort of a toned down jetpack. This was bearable at this point. People could cope with this because it wasn't too heavily orientated on jumping 2,500 foot in the air and boosting faster than something fast, I guess. Now, this is where Infinity Ward's problems stem and carry on stemming up until now. Basically, they were too far in the development cycle to hit a big red button and just go, let's reset, start a new boots on the ground game. There was just not enough time. They had so much work and effort put into one game. One, it would be a complete waste just to get rid of that game. And two, it probably wasn't feasible for them just to restart. So they have to follow through with the game plan. And honestly, it couldn't have been at a worse time. Everyone's asking for classic boots on the ground for it to go back to the Vietnam era, back to the modern warfare era. And wow, what do? The perfect thing to piss off the community. Send us all into space. Yes. And that's where their problem started. Now, obviously, wrong game, wrong time. Could have been a good game had it come just before Advanced Warfare or maybe just after Advanced Warfare, but it didn't. Then that leads us on to Modern Warfare. And apparently Infinity Ward do not know how to learn from a mistake. Excluding Infinite Warfare, wrong game, wrong time, all that bollocks. Go back to Call of Duty Ghosts, the last boots on the ground that Infinity Ward made. It was huge. The maps were big, the guns were pretty piss poor. Overall, it was a pretty naff game. And then, fast forward, was it 6 years or so, we have Modern Warfare with even bigger maps and even shitter guns. I cannot quite wrap my head around Infinity Ward. They learn from mistakes. Treyarch learn from mistakes. Now, this is where my solution comes in. Obviously, Infinity Ward are inept of making a decent Call of Duty multiplayer title. Apparently, they're no good at Spec Ops either, but that's up for debate. So, this is my solution. Instead of 1 year having one development company develop one Call of Duty, the next year, a different development company develop a new Call of Duty, and the bloody year after having an even newer development team developing an even newer Call of Duty. Why don't we merge all of the development studios? Now, this is where I'm thinking. So, as we know, Infinity Ward are inept of making a decent multiplayer. So, they could get pushed to the campaign side of things. So, the campaign is just made by Infinity Ward. Now, bearing in mind, normally, back in the past, Infinity Ward had 1 year, just one company had 1 year to develop an entire Call of Duty. This one development company now only has to make the campaign. So, the campaign made by Infinity Ward. The multiplayer developed and made by Treyarch. The special ops, or maybe zombies, developed by Sledgehammer, and then by Raven Software. Every year we get a battle royale, or they just love the exact same battle royale year in, year out. This could be the new thing. Are you ready? So, a 2-year development cycle for Call of Duty. So 1 year, it's the whole shebang, the actual Call of Duty games. That's the campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops. So obviously, the Infinity Ward are developing the campaign, the multiplayer by Treyarch, and the Spec Ops or Zombies by Sledgehammer. And the year after, instead of getting a whole new Call of Duty title, we just get a Battle Royale. Now, if you don't like the game that's developed by all the companies, you go and play the Battle Royale. If you don't like that, then you don't play either. But this is it. If you like Infinity Ward games, Raven Software predominantly makes Infinity Ward games. alongside Infinity Ward. So we have that Infinity Ward feel. If you like Treyarch, you can of course go and play the Treyarch made multiplayer. Also, the good campaign that is also made by Infinity Ward, and the good zombies that is made by Sledgehammer. It's a win-win. The companies get a year, or two, sorry, to develop one fucking good multiplayer, one good campaign, and one good zombies or spec ops. And Respawn get to develop their own game, their own battle royale. If you don't think this is a good idea, you need to give your head a wobble, because personally, I think this is a fantastic idea, and I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is a good idea? Or if you have any other ideas on this topic, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. This is LUKEY, and I'm signing out. Peace.